Kakwadash, Kahalo, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim, Kakwadash. All praise due to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua. Double honors to the apostles, the great millstone rule all over the flock. Shalom, salutation, you brothers out here, preaching words of truth and sincerity. Just a few scriptures going over my mind. I just wanted to do another show, be a little more productive this week. And so I'm just going to go into a few scriptures on the subject of the Lord revealing his secrets at the end. All right, at the end, this is when the Lord is revealing more secrets, more and more. So I'm gonna switch the camera around, shalom to the brothers out there, the Kodashim, the saints, and we're just gonna go into a little something real quick, man. Switch, give y'all a different view for a change. All right, so I got here Jeremiah 30 and now it escapes me as soon as I have it. Let me just read from Jeremiah 29 and 10. It says, "For thus saith the Lord, that after 70 years be accomplished at Babylon, I will visit you and perform my good word toward you, and causing you to return to this place. For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end." We got to remember that the Lord already wants us to expect the end of peace and not evil. So let's not get caught up in the day-to-day complexities, man. If that is a word, let's not get caught up in the worrying and being too sorrowful, man. In the Matthew 24, it says, after the false Messiah is come, and after the wars and rumors of wars come, that's the beginning of evil. And so we got to hold fast, man. We got to continue on to know that the Lord, as I read again, "For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. Then shall ye call upon me, and ye shall go and pray unto me, and I will hearken unto you." The Lord is there to hear our prayers as well. Brothers, be steadfast with your prayers, man. Be vigilant with your praying. Say the Lord's name when you pray in the Hebrew, Yahweh and Yahweh Shah. Say the Lord's prayer in the Hebrew if you can. If you all you gotta do is Google that if you don't have it. Continually be steadfast in your prayer and your supplications that you make towards the Lord, asking him to grant you the things that you need. All right, not that you necessarily want, but the things that you need to sustain you through the day, mentally and physically. It says, verse 12, "Then shall ye call upon me, and ye shall go and pray unto me, and I will hearken unto you, and ye shall seek me and find me, when ye search for me with all your heart. And I will be found of you, saith the Lord. I will turn away your captivity, and I will gather you from all the nations and from all the places whither I have driven you." And it's that simple. The Lord has our back at the end of the day. He has the elect's back, and he chose a certain people, all right, the Israelites, and he also chose a remnant of the nation of Israel to save, to send his son again to save in this last days, man. And that's what we're talking about, the end times. It says, I have driven you, saith the Lord, and I will bring you again into the place whence I caused you to be carried away captive. All right, that's the same place in Deuteronomy 28 that it said, we shall not see it again, no man shall buy you. We're waiting and steadfastly hastening and asking the Lord and praying that he return us back into our kingdom, turn us back into our seat that we were taken away from, man. And he's going to do it. He's going to do it. Thus saith the Lord of hosts. Reading on. Wait. Verse 15, "Because ye have said, Lord hath raised up the prophets in Babylon, know this, know that thus saith the Lord, the King that sitteth upon the throne of David, and all the people that dwelleth in this city, and all of your brethren, that ye are not gone forth, that are not gone forth with you into captivity. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, I will send upon them the sword, the famine, and the pestilence, and will make them like vile figs that cannot be eaten. They are so evil. And I will persecute them with the sword, and with famine, and with the pestilence, and will deliver them to be removed to all kingdoms of the earth, to be a curse and to be astonished, and astonishment, and a hissing, and a reproach among all the nations where I have driven them." Yeah, so our people have been driven off. Our people have been led astray, and it was them false prophets that were set up to lead our people astray even further and cause us to be a reproach and a curse and an astonishment and a hissing amongst other nations wherever we were driven. These are the curses that came up against our people. And so the Lord promises that just as he put those curses on us, he'll take them off me. He'll take them off us. Um, this is Jeremiah 30:1. It says, the word that came to Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, thus speaketh the Lord, power of Israel, saying, write thee all the words that I have spoken unto thee in a book. For lo, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel and Judah, saith the Lord, and I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it. So we have to return ultimately back to our land. Every nationality has a land. Our land is the land of Israel. And guess what? The Lord isn't settled. He's not going to settle with us being slaves forever and, being in captivity forever. He's going to turn, as in his words, I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel and Judah. That doesn't mean that we're going to go back into slavery. See, that's just old English. I will bring again the captivity, for the Lord will take us out of captivity. That's exactly what it means when you read, I will bring again the captivity, all right, of my people Israel. It actually means I will take us out, all right, because why would the Lord be satisfied with putting us again into captivity? We're in it. It says, and I will cause them to return to the land. And that's the proof to what it means, that the Lord's not going to cause us to go into captivity again once he returns us back. It says, and these are the words that the Lord spoke concerning Israel and concerning Judah. So the Lord's people, he's always concerned with his own people. These words can't be multiplied and delegated throughout the nations. It's dealing with the Israelites. Yeah, we are scattered people. So the Lord has to send prophets amongst all the different nations, but the word is still for Israel. And these are the words that the Lord spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. For thus saith the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling and of fear and not of peace. Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, and as a woman in travail, and all the faces are turned to paleness. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. So what trouble has the Lord sent upon our people when we haven't been saved out of it? All right, we have a redeeming power, and that's the bottom line. We have redemption in our power, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. We have light and hope in our power, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. We have direction, all right, in our power. And even while he sends a great, difficult, troubling day towards our people, like never been seen before, according to Daniel's 12, well, the Lord's still going to deliver his elect out of it. That's how much he loves his people and his elect. For it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. We got to recognize the elect recognizes that with the Lord can't redeem us lest he put our enemies under his feet. It's a package deal. You can't just say to the Lord all of a sudden, because you had to change your heart, hey, Lord, can you just be peaceful with Edom? Can you not do them the way they did us? Can we change the deal and at least give them their own kingdom in heaven? The Lord doesn't, he's not going to answer that wish. All right, that's a vain thing to ask for. That's an unjust thing to ask for. The Lord is going to penalize our enemies double, according to Revelations 18. It says, because he's going to break the yoke from off thy neck and burst the bonds that they have over us. All right, the heathen has control and complete wreck over our people, man. And that encourages our people to defile themselves because the heathen are doing it, and encourage our people to think that they're less of a people because the heathen continually make fun of us, rag on us, talk down on us, and don't tell us the truth about our own. It says, but they shall serve the Lord their power, and David their king, whom I will raise up unto them. Therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, and saith the Lord, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return, and he shall be in rest and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. So we in the time where the Lord's going to have these prophecies be fulfilled, right? We've been waiting, patiently waiting for the Lord to return, right? says, for I am with thee, saith the Lord, say to save thee, though I make a full end of all the nations whither that I have scattered thee, yet will I not make a full end of thee, but I will correct thee in measure and will not leave thee altogether unpunished. The Lord dealt with us. He dealt with us. He chastised us. We got afflicted. We went into slavery. We went through hardships as a people, as a unit. All right. And guess what? The Lord is going to deal with the rest of the nations for what they've done to us. So that's judgment right there. That's called justice. You're not going to get that in America. You're going to get that post-America. It says, for thus saith the Lord, thy bruise is incurable, and thy wound is grievous. There is none to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up. Thou hast no healing medicines. All thy lovers have forgotten thee. They seek thee not, for I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy. The Lord said, I wounded thee with the wound of an enemy. The people that took us into captivity and slavery, the transatlantic slave trade, the Europeans, all right, the Grecians, those are our enemies, man. The Lord said he wounded us with the wounds of our enemies. The conquistadors that came over and tackled Gad, Reuben, Seminoles, and the rest of the natives over here in North, Central, and South America, including all the indigenous tribes of so-called Latino tribes. The Edomites that took you down, the Spaniards and the Portuguese that took you down. Those are the wounds of your enemies. You see? So you're not to be, you be a supplanter. If you're going to be amongst these people and around these people, it should be for business. It's not for pleasure, because those are your enemies. All right, they still carrying the blood on their hands of your enemies that haven't been replenished yet, man. And very soon the Lord's going to judge those people. It says, with the chastisement of a cruel one. Yeah, he sent a cruel one against our people. That's where you got Wounded Knee, Trail of Tears. Look these things up. All right, the Seminole American War, American Indian War. All right, all these vile, murderous times. All right, the conquest of Hispaniola, the conquest of Puerto Rico, where they took down the natives, Arawak, so-called Arawak Indians, all the way down to, and Tainos, all the way down to like 500. The whole country of Mexico was down to the thousands. How they was slaughtering. The Spaniards was cruel. It says, for the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased. So the Lord definitely, he jacked us up. He gave us something to sit down and think about. All right, but he's going to replenish us. Verse 17 says, Slacky, let me read 16. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured. And that's what we want, justice. You got people right now marching, George Floyd, or Ahmaud Arbery, or I mean, it's a new one every other week. It was a new one yesterday, but you see what's going on now. Now it's become like part of like, it's just become like such a fad now. That how about we get some understanding upon while all these bodies is dropping, instead of just being presenting ourselves with an opportunity to march. How come we don't get no understanding? The Lord said in Jeremiah 30:16, therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured, all thine adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. The Lord knows our heart. He know Israel enough to know that, look, we don't want no reparations because the blood was shed. That's not good enough. Yeah, to restore us financially will be dope, but guess what? If we still got to look at the faces of the murderers of our people and act like everything's all good because we all on the same playing field and nothing happens to them, well, we don't like that deal. And all the Christians out there, they despise Hebrew Israelites because we steady talking about everything that the scriptures point out already, which is the Lord is going to require the blood of the adversaries, enemies, and prey of our people, man. They preyed upon us, man. They seized us. They raped us. Rape means to take. They raped us from the lands we were already in. They raped us of our heritage, and they raped us of our substance. And the Lord is going to require that back. For Wadi al-Bashim Yashah, that the Lord rules and reigns supreme, and not Esau, or not some fake Christian, man, who wants everything to be let go. Or You can't level the playing field until you deal with the enemies. It says, verse 17, for I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds. You see our people. I'm sure a lot of y'all brothers out there watching Kevin Samuels, and you see the plight and the mental ridiculousness of some of the women of our people. That can't be restored except the Lord do it. You see now, a lot of these women in particular, black women, man, you want the world, but you don't have anything to give for it. Well, that mentality comes, that greedy mentality, all right, needs to be wiped away. That needs to be rooted out of our people. And it don't just end with the women. It ends. It goes into a lot of these effeminate men. It goes into just how our people are at the bottom continually. We love it there at the bottom, all right. But that's contrary to who the Lord set us up to be, man. At one point, some point in a man's life, you're supposed to feel a responsibility to feel better, all right, to do better, and to actually be in control of something, have some property, have some ownership, have a have a family that you can actually control and benefit in the long run, children and all of that you could benefit. You can't have that here in America. You see, you can't have that in our captivity. So the Lord's going to restore us with health of mind, health of a body. He's going to give us, transfer our bodies, upgrade our bodies into celestial ones, where we're going to have the laws on our inward parts, all right, from a child, all right. We're going to have spiritual power, all right. We're going to be able to run without, stopping, fly, do things with our minds, all right. Play with the elements with our minds. And these things we're going to have forevermore while we're living and dwelling with Yahweh Shah and King David. All right. While we have our enemies in captivity, it's the package deal. And it ain't going to happen in America. This is just a place for you to ask and pray to the Lord for deliverance. That's what we doing on this side. It says, for I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Lord, because they called thee an outcast, saying, this is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. Yeah, we got dropped low. All right, the Lord put us at a very base level right now, our people. But the Lord remembers us. He constantly, his mind and his eyes are constantly watching over Israel. The scripture tells you in Lamentations, for it is of the Lord's mercy we are not consumed. He's the reason why we still around. Okay? When you look at the numbers in which the conquistadors had some of these tribes, how low they got them down to what low numbers, 500s and the 200s, you would have think we had been wiped out. But it was of the Lord's mercies we not. Salaki, I think I deleted something, man, but that was a mistake. That was a mistake, brother. You could write that again. It says, thus saith the Lord, behold, I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents, and have mercy on the dwelling places, and the city shall be builded up upon her own heap, and the palace shall remain after the manner thereof, meaning it's never going to be touched. And out of them shall proceed thanksgiving in the voice of them that make merry, and I will multiply them, and they shall not be few. I will also glorify them, and they shall not be small. Why? Because we're going to have many wives, or many a wife. Can you have that here? Man, you be hard pressed, man. You be hard pressed. The woman wouldn't allow that. All right? She'd make your life a living hell just thinking about it. All right? She'd make your life a living hell without even thinking about it. Verse 20, their children also shall be as aforetime, their congregation shall be established before me, and I will punish all that oppress them. The Lord gonna build us up and bring them down. Simultaneously, build us up and bring them down. When it was our time to go in captivity, that was their time to rule and reign. That's why we have this saying, this is a Edomite's world, or a white man's world, or his heaven is our hell. That's congruent with the scriptures, because when one man goes up, the next man falls. It's that simple. It says, and their nobles shall be of themselves, and their governors shall proceed from the midst of them, and I will cause him to draw near, and he shall approach unto me. For who is this that engageth his heart to approach unto me, saith the Lord? And ye shall be my people, and I will be a power. Behold, the whirlwind of the Lord goeth forth with fury. We know what that whirlwind is. All right. We know what that whirlwind. All right. Throughout the scriptures, the whirlwind is one thing. It's the chariots of the Lord, and they go forth with fury. All right, so they coming back to wreak havoc, and that's what Esau got right about all his movies. One thing he never showed is a movie where them chariots show up and they just like trying to make peace. It don't go down like that. It says it says, and continue a continuing whirlwind, it shall fall with pain upon the head of the wicked. Now we can see plainly and clearly what these chariots is about to go come back and do. They got an assignment, a task, and they about to fulfill that, man, with great vengeance and fury. I mean, go into that word fury and see. It ain't just talking about being angry. When you angry, that's one thing. When you furious, that's a whole, you got a reason, and you're going to stay like that for a while. Verse 24, the fierce anger of the Lord shall not return until he have done it. So, when you have your mind set to do something, you get it done. When you got something set on your mind to get done, until it's done, you don't stop. Well, the Lord, he gonna have something on his mind, along with the chariots and his angels and his host of army with him, and they gonna get something done. That's the destruction of Esau, the destruction of Babylon, this vile kingdom that performed all these heinous acts on our people. Yeah, they gonna get judged right away swiftly. It says, and he had performed in the intents of his heart. In the latter days shall ye consider it. Why in the latter days? Because this is when it's all coming down. And what days is we in? The latter days. Genesis 49:1. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. What the Hebrew Israelites have that no other people has, and we understand what's going to happen and befall our people in the last days. And you go into Numbers 24. Well, let me read Numbers 23:19. Yahweh is not a man that he should lie, neither the son of man that he should repent. Hath he said, and shall he not do it? Or hath he spoken, and shall he not make it good? Behold, I have received commandment to bless, and he hath blessed, and I cannot reverse it. When the Lord sends his son to return and destroy, that's it. Lights out. There ain't no coming back from it. There ain't no, let me review the play. This is Numbers 24:14. And now behold, I go unto my people. Come therefore, and I will advertise thee what this people shall do to thy people in the latter days. It's all going to come down to these latter days that we in. And what do we know about the latter days that will happen? Verse 17, I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel. You guessed it, Yahweh Shah. And small smite, Slakia, and shall smite the corners of Moab and destroy all the children of Sheth. Man, Moab, the so-called Chinese, you're not going to be able to run in that day. You're not going to be able to run in that day. The children of Sheth and Edom shall be a possession. Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do valiantly. All right, we will be the valiant ones doing valiantly, while we have in possession, aka captivity, aka slavery, our enemies. Finally, once and for all. All right, you're gonna see your boss in slavery. You're gonna see that cop in slavery. Chauvin gonna be in slavery. All right, Bush is gonna be in slavery. The Vanderbilts, the Gettys, the Bilderbergs, slavery, the Rothschilds, the so-called royal family over there in you know England, slavery. I mean hardcore slavery, like don't look at me slavery, kiss the boot slavery. It says, out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city. What makes them think it's all going to be peaceful in the day of the Lord? How? The scripture tell you in Amos, woe to you that think it's going to be peace. All right. When the Lord return, it's not peace but darkness. You can't mix this day up. This is going to be cruel to our enemies. The Lord's going to set them on fire. For one, they're going to be ignited, man. Spontaneous combustion when them thermonuclear missiles drop, and them laser beams ain't no joke from the chariots. Fire penetrating eyeballs and fingers and necks, families. Well, that's the reality of the scriptures that the church, the modern day church, ain't going to tell you about. They ain't set up to do that. We understand what the 50c3 have done. They've taken all the backbone out of the church. Yeah, it used to be something where you go and you hear in the 1950s, you could watch a sermon with a pastor sweating and talking about the evil of America, the evil of sodomy, and the evil of adultery and all of these things. Boy, now you go into the church, forget it, man. You ain't gonna hear none of that, man. A lot of clapping and singing. It says, out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city. We gonna destroy. We gonna get vile on them that got vile on us. It's called retribution. You gonna have your retribution, Jacob. You gonna have your retribution, man. You gonna have your get back, Judah, Israel. You gonna have it, man. You ain't gonna get it now. Don't be stupid enough to think that just because what's her name, Maxine Waters, said go out and protest and show them what you got. Don't be stupid enough to run out there to your streets, man. Fully loaded, because they'll fully unload it right on you. But what we gonna have in that day is much greater than what you can obtain now. And when he looked upon Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. So guess what, yo? Them Amalekites, who are the so-called Jews today, yo, perishing forever is going to be a nice day for us. It's going to be a great event, man. It's going to be a lot of singing, a lot of joyousness. Isaiah 2:2 says, and it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains. The mountain of the Lord's house is the nation of Israel. In the last days is not yet here, but are coming. It's very soon. We are in the last days. Let me correct myself. We are in the days where you're going to see the Most High set up, starting with the horn of his nation, Yahushua. When Yahushua comes in and cracks them clouds and drops back into our realm and manifests himself for the first time since he ascended up into a cloud in the book of Acts, man, it's going to be showtime, man. Now he's going to establish, he got to come back and establish the Lord's house in the top of the mountains. The mountains is dealing with these other nations. That's why you got summit meetings. The summit is the top of a mountain. The summit also is when all the congregation of nations, NATO and the EU, come together to hash out their plans for a new world order. Summit meetings, G20 and whatnot. Hell, the new world order, the beast is a summit. It's a congregation of nations of Edom. All right, the nation of Edom coming together to formulate their new world order. It says, but in that it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains. It shall be exalted above the hills, and nations shall flow unto it. So we're gonna be back in power, man. And one thing about power, and one thing about our people in power, it's not like other people in power. See, a base man can be in power, but it ain't right. That's why America just don't feel right. Even when you look at an Edomite, he can have billions of dollars. Do you feel it from him? No, you feel weakness, man. You feel weak because this is the man that was created to really just destroy. He wasn't created to do much else but that. Everything about him is to implement some type of thing to cause a disaster down the line, cause famine, cause drought, cause instability of the family, cause confusion. Everything he touches, man, leads to more instability and confusion. So a base man is ruling. What does Ecclesiastes tell you? That I've seen a horse servant upon horses and princes walking upon the earth. So they can be on top all they want. They'll never be supreme. There's a difference there. See, we are a supreme race, not because we decided it, Not because the melanin in our skin just beams up into our pineal gland and all this metaphysical crap. We the people who are supreme because the Lord chose us and he loved us more than he loved them. You know, you got a son, and then you got a daughter, and you might got 3 or 4 children, or cousins, or uncles. Hell, you could have something like a sneaker collection, but you got that one pair, man, that's your favorite. Well, the Lord created all man, yeah, all mankind was created, all right, but he has a chosen, a supreme. When you go into supremacy, that's all that means. Greater than the rest, above the rest. And the Lord told us strictly for us that, look, y'all gonna be a peculiar people, a nation of kings and priests, and I shall set you above all the other nations upon the earth. It's unmistakable supremacy in the nation of Israel, and it's all going to accumulate when Yahweh Shah gets back. It says, and many people shall go and say, verse 3, go and say, come ye and let us go to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of Yahweh of Jacob, and he will teach us his ways, and we will walk in the paths for out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. So you're not just going to rule over Esau. You're not just going to rule over Amalek. You're not just going to rule over Elam. You're going to rule over every single nation there is. They all going to know without a shadow of a doubt that the Lord is on our side. He's our power. He chose us. And they're to get every instruction from us from that point on. That's it. That's it. They're going to have to deal with that, man. I got one last scripture to read, and I'm going to finish it out with this one. This is the book of Daniel's 2. Salakia. Daniel's 2, and where I'm at. Daniel's 2, and woo. Let me 1 second, brothers. 1 second. Let's get this right. Yeah, man. Daniel's 2 and 28. Here it go. It says, but there is a power in heaven that revealeth secrets, and maketh known to the king Nebuchadnezzar what shall be in the latter days. All right, so the power in the heaven that's making known all of these things unto Daniel is the same power that's allowing us to be known, to understand and decipher the scriptures, right? Discern the scriptures, have discernment upon the times, discern the times, right? To everything there's a season, every period there's a time, to be able to relay this information from this book, the Holy Bible, right? Which is not just a book, but it's laid out a foundation and a plan and a blueprint laid out of how the world works and how the Heavenly Father works and how we gonna receive glory. And it's all gonna be it's all laid out here for us, for the ones that can receive it. But once again, there's a power in heaven that revealeth secrets, and maketh known to the king Nebuchadnezzar what shall be in the latter days. It's just like he's making us known to today. We making it known to the elites. When we make these videos, rest assured they know about us. They know about the words that we saying. They know about the scriptures that we breaking down, and they're switching up their game plans daily, all right, to try to beat the Lord's plan, man, to try to cause this word to go out. Channels is getting deleted. This is a new thing. This is like a 2020 and starting at 2015 really thing. They never really cared about deleting channels prior to 2015. That was unheard of. Deleting shows, it's like in channels. But you see they on us now. Why? Because they trying to corrupt or stop that prophecy from going out, man. You know, and shalom to the brothers out here pushing this word. You know, I'm gonna call it right here. Lord willing, this video is edifying. Till next time, shalom.